Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the beauty, relationships, envy and seduction of those of you who have Venus in the 11th house within your natal birth chart, so stay tuned. However, before we do dive into today's video, certainly make sure that you give this video a like if you do like it. Also, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to, of course, click that little bell icon so that you can keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more thing to mention, and that is that I have some readings available, I have ebooks available, I have some merchandise pieces available, and all of these things can be found in the description box below. You can visit my website. Okay, so with all of those introductions out of the way, Venus in the 11th house, let's do this. Okay, so first and foremost, when it comes to Venus, make sure that you're looking at both your Libra house along with your Taurus house, because both of these signs are ruled by Venus within astrology, and so therefore they can give you more information. But if you do happen to have Venus in the 11th house, then what this suggests is that you are someone who loves to be liked and admired and appreciated within your friendship circles or within your peer groups, and also within your social circles in general. There's a desire to hold other people's interest towards you and vice versa. So for example, you could have been the popular kid at school, or you could be the person within your clubs that you join that others admire, and the people within these clubs, they really look up to you. Or quite possibly you're the certain somebody that others come to for compliments and for friendly feedback and advice. Perhaps in this way you are loved and enjoyed by those who you associate yourself with out there in the world. It's sort of like this mutual connection you share with others. This mutual connection is in a way what you seek. And when it comes to your friendships, they must be of high quality. They must be important to you. They must mean something, and you must value these connections and these relationships if you are to feel good and secure within them. Perhaps you have this attitude towards your friendships that sounds something like, well, if I wouldn't like something being done to me, then I won't do that thing towards others. Or I'm going to treat others how I would like to be treated. And so therefore, if you ever pick up on things like disrespect, disloyalty, or cruelty within your social circles, you might slowly remove yourself without having to get into the ins and outs as to why, because maybe in your mind it's best to distance yourself rather than entertaining more unnecessary, unhealthy distress and dramas. Meaning that essentially you seek peace and you seek harmony within your friendships and within your social groups. You wish for others to cooperate, to get along well together. You crave closeness, you crave connection and teamwork, team building. And so you will use things such as tact and diplomacy within these connections in order to obtain the peace and the harmony that you seek. And you will also remain somewhat composed and rational throughout the process. Now, having said that, I suppose this goes without saying, make sure that you are considering the sign that Venus is in along with those aspects, because, well, these things could tell a different story to what I'm saying today. But still, I do think you seek ease and balance and good manners within your larger social connections and groups. Now, you may be someone with Venus in the 11th house who has a much larger group of friends, or you could be someone with Venus in the 11th house who has a more close knit group of friends. I think it depends on the sign that Venus is in, but I think at the center of it all, you like to be that person who brings people together. You like to create a feeling of community. And you also aim to really make an effort when it comes to socializing and organizing group events, for example. All you ask is that others show you the same kindness and courtesy in return. And for some of you, maybe you seek appreciation. You seek plenty of compliments as well. Though I suppose another point to mention is how eloquently and gracefully you bring others together. There's a beauty in how you go about doing this. Things feel smooth and calming, especially given that you make others feel at ease when they are in your company. You don't push on people, you listen to them. You show interest in other people's likes and interests and in their lives overall. You don't force your opinions and your ideals on others. And you ask others about their dreams and about their hopes and their wishes for the future. Essentially, you encourage other people to glow, and in the process, you also glow. Venus in the 11th house individuals. Now, having said that, this doesn't mean that you never run into an argument or into a disagreement. After all, there are going to be times when we question other people's behaviors and their intentions. In fact, you may have the tendency of becoming envious or jealous towards your friends and towards your peers. You might enter into a rivalry situation. So, for example, you might wish to be the most beautiful, the most desirable, or the most wealthy out of your friends within your friend groups. Or you might seek to have more followers or more fans or more admirers online. You might even feel jealousy towards those who you deem as more favorable or more liked. And following on from this point, it's these types of behaviors that may especially be seen within your female relationships. And the reason for why I say this is because with Venus here, there is more of an emphasis on you developing friendships with female types or with more feminine individuals. Or quite possibly, this could be where you develop connections and friendships with artistic types, okay? Or with people who are really into fashion or beauty or music. Perhaps you're a part of an artistic club or group. Still, however, it's this rivalry and jealousy and envy that can come out within such social situations. But at the same time, I also think with time and inner security, you grow to truly embrace your talents and your skills along with other people's. You realize that you can glow whilst others glow right along with you. So there's really nothing to be jealous or envious about. I suppose it requires effort, and it also requires self-acceptance on your part, Venus in the 11th house individuals. And it's interesting because perhaps others see you as the most secure and as the most loving person in the world, but little do they know that you also struggle with your own insecurities, with your own doubts, worries, fears, etc. Beneath all the charm and the grace and the elegance and the sophistication, you can overthink and you can get caught up in indecision and uncertainty, self-doubt. But furthermore, I think you gravitate towards groups and people who are like-minded. These individuals who share the same values as you. Perhaps that's quite important to you within relationships. But at the same time, you enjoy it when your friends and your groups, they challenge your mind and they get you thinking outside of the box. Perhaps having intellectual discussions is important to you within your relationships. and you're okay if things become somewhat political or controversial, provided things don't become overly messy or destructive or highly argumentative. But still, by bringing up such controversial topics, well, you get discussing subjects that are wider, that are bigger, topics that aren't typically a part of everyday general chit-chat. But as I say, there must also be fairness on your part and on other people's parts, meaning that people must listen to one another and they must respect each other's opinions. So the moment things become aggressive or too bossy or demanding, that's when you feel uneasy and that's when you refuse to engage. Now, again, it depends on the sign that Venus is in, along with those aspects, respectfully. But I don't think you take well to those who shove their views down other people's throats. And so there's a level of acceptance and appreciation that you seek. Also, I think it's with the support of others that you can achieve your hopes and your wishes for the future. Now, a part of the reason for why I think this is possibly due to your connections, okay, due to the people that you know, along with your ability to cooperate and be a team player. But another reason possibly for why this is because others help you out financially or physically. For example, this could be a friend helping you land a job, or this could be a partner helping you polish up your resume, your CV, or this could look like a parent supporting you financially with rent or with a car, or this could be a scenario where you get into a relationship with someone who has their finances in order. And so by being in a relationship with them, they help you obtain specific hopes and wishes for the future. Though, just a quick side note, I'm not suggesting that this is the sole reason for why you connect with such people or why you get into relationships with such people. Then again, okay, for some of you, it could be, who knows? But seeing as I do bring up relationships, well, maybe you become romantically involved with somebody who is quite popular or who is influential, a person who is well loved within their community, they are well respected, or a person who puts themselves out there online for all to see. Or maybe you attract partners who are activists, partners who are part of social movements, the types of people who attend protests, or the types of people who identify heavily with groups or causes or organizations. Honestly, you could be getting into relationships with people who are at every climate change meeting there is. Or maybe you simply attract partners who are strong-minded, they're radical. And the same thing could be said about your friendships. So befriending people like this. In fact, you might desire a relationship where friendship is a huge part of it. Perhaps it's really important to you that you and your partner are friends, or maybe it's important that you have freedom to spend time with your friends when in a relationship. And so perhaps you wish for your partner to respect this about you. Or quite possibly it's through your social circles or it's through your friendships that you meet a partner, you meet a significant other. They're just following on from the previous point. You don't discriminate when it comes to friends, meaning that you are open to developing diverse and interesting relationships and friendships. All you ask is that you and these individuals, you share common goals, you share common values, etc. Also, the relationship that you do develop with your partner may be viewed as non-conforming or as untraditional. Perhaps you don't care much for the whole date, marriage, house, children structure. Now, with that being said, of course, perhaps it depends again on the sign that Venus is in, along with those aspects. And also, well, maybe you don't deliberately go against the social norms. Maybe it's that your social and financial circumstances, they don't align with this order of doing things within a relationship anyway. I mean, it's becoming harder and more difficult to fit into this relationship mold within society, especially given that times are changing. And also because there are many factors that I will not get into throughout this video. But essentially, maybe the ways in which your relationships unfold, they are different. And quite possibly, for some of you, you possess this march to the beat of your own drum attitude, meaning that you're going to approach relationships in the ways in which you please, regardless of what others have to say about it. Now, like I said, another possibility is that you meet your partner or your significant other through a current friendship or through a group that you join, or maybe you're someone with this placement who seeks to be with a few people at once. Okay, that is a possibility. Or you know what, it could be a situation where you meet your significant other online. So as you can see, there are many different ways in which things can play out. But I do think in an overall general sense, you become romantically involved with partners who share similar values, whilst they challenge your views at the same time. In fact, I think there's a seductive quality to your mindset, to your ability of thinking for yourself and standing up for what you value and what you appreciate. And this leads me on to the final point that I want to make, and that is to do with your ideals for the future. I think you can be pretty idealistic when it comes to the type of future you wish to see within society. Perhaps you wish to see more fairness, more equality, more intellectual understanding. Then again, perhaps there's those of you who balance such things out. You like to weigh out the pros and cons when it comes to such things. So you'll question what fairness is, what equality really means, or you'll think about other possibilities. And so in this way, maybe you consider yourself as pretty political, or perhaps you simply prefer to read up on things before making a decision. I suppose it depends on your social position, but ultimately, when it comes to the future of humanity, you aim for cooperation, for sincere communication, for intellectual action, for rational thought. Though, to be fair, there could be some of you Venus in the 11th house individuals who you visualize a future filled with pleasure, sensuality, materialism, hedonism, indulgence, vanity, or it's that you challenge these very things. In fact, I think you have plenty of opinions on the subject of wealth, especially when it comes to how wealth contributes to and impacts human rights. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video all about the beauty, relationships, envy and seduction of those of you who have Venus in the 11th house. Now, if you do happen to have Venus in the 11th house, then please let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. Do you relate? Do you not relate? Do you know somebody else with this placement? I would love to know. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button. And also make sure that you give this video a like, remember. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!